Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Now it is the Russians' turn to tell us how great they are in destroying the Ukrainian drones and missiles. You remember the Ukrainians now they have about 100% accuracy in destroying the Russians' missiles sent or drones sent to Kiev. Now is Moscow's turn. So according to the Russians, there was an attack on Moscow. The drones tried to do some damage, but because Russia's air defense is fantastic and electronic warfare capable, they didn't kind of succeed. So I have two articles, one from the Ukrainians, the other one from the Russians. Let's start with the Ukrainians and see what they have to say. The New Voice of Ukraine, June 21st, 2023. Moscow suburbs attacked with drones, claims Russian media. The suburbs of Russia's capital city of Moscow were allegedly targeted with drones early on June 21st, according to reports in Russian media. Local residents reported hearing a loud sound at around 5 a.m. Eyewitnesses also observed an explosion in the sky over the village of Lukino in New Moscow. It was later confirmed that a drone had fallen in the nearby Pakhra River area. No casualties were reported as a result of the attack. In addition, two drones reportedly crashed near the village of Kalininets in the Naro-Fominsky district of Moscow Oblast. Local residents heard two explosions approximately 5 minutes apart around 5:30 a.m. Law enforcement authorities have cordoned off the area where the debris fell. The incident follows a previous drone attack on Moscow and its suburbs on May 30th, which resulted in damage to three high-rise buildings. Now, high-rise buildings, you see how they call this? Attack. There was an attack on Moscow and its suburbs, and the high-rise buildings were damaged. Now, let me put this in real words. It was a terrorist attack on Moscow's residential buildings where people live. And if you attack civilians, which is three high-rise buildings, which is civilian infrastructure, you're called as you call the Russians when they attack Kiev, don't you? The terrorists, the war criminals, they attempted a terrorist attack. I don't see that here. I see just a drone attack hitting three high-rise buildings. See how the media makes all these things. They report in a certain way what we do. If they do it the same thing we did, or vice versa, we call it differently. That's why, yes, very nice. That's one. And now let's go to the Russians from Sputnik. 4 hours ago, the June 21st, 2023. You remember those attacks? I made a video on that. You should remember it. And that's an order. Now, Kremlin on drone attack in Moscow region. Investigation underway. Earlier in the day, the Russian Defense Ministry said that Kiev tried to carry out a terrorist attack. Oopsie doopsie. Now, they call it terrorist attack when the Ukrainians do it to them, but when they hit residential buildings in Moscow, that's just an attack. You see? Now, I don't know if you had any doubts on how propaganda is made and opinion forming. You know, that's the way. Little words added. So carry out a terrorist attack on objects in the Moscow region, adding that all UAVs were suppressed by means of electronic warfare. Wow, so all of them. They are good as the Ukrainians using the American air defense systems. Fantastic, they're all good. Buy one, get one free. Electronic warfare means coped with their task in the Moscow region, and an investigation into a drone attack is currently underway. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said on Wednesday, and I'm quoting, "Indeed, yes, there was a drone attack. The means to combat drones' electronic warfare did their job. Now, the relevant authorities are investigating," end quote, Peskov told reporters. Russia has been maintaining a dialogue with Brazil on the settlement of the Ukraine conflict, but so far no achievements have been made by... Okay, what's this have to do with the little attack? I don't know. What is the title here? Anyway, they tell us about Lula, and then they tell us Ramposa. So anyway, we can say that, at least according to the Russians, there was an attack, drone attack on Moscow's region, suburbs. The Russians also report that they destroyed all the drones by means of electronic warfare. Boom. That's basically what happened. The clear representation. And the other ones say, well, we're just an attack, they claim. Anyway, my friends, if the Ukrainians are capable now, they claim, they developed a domestic drone, attack drone, that is capable of flying about 1,000 kilometers. That means it could be launched from Ukraine and can hit Moscow with no problems. I made a video on that yesterday, and I calculated, I'm not me, the computer calculated, that there's about 700 kilometers, 600 miles, 500 miles, something like that, if I remember correctly, between Moscow and Kiev. So if you were to launch something from Kiev with the new drones, they will reach Moscow with no problems. So you don't have to be within Russia, I don't know, 50 miles away from Moscow to try to hit it. You can be in Ukraine or in Poland, maybe, I don't know. Or maybe in, you can try from north, from Estonia, whatever, Baltic states over there. They can go around Baltic, pop, and go over the St. Petersburg. And St. Petersburg will also be hit. Why not? These guys are just, as they say, returning the Russians a favor. You hit our towns, we're going to hit your towns. So no crying there, I guess. Even though the Russians said, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Well, to be fair, you've been doing to their cities something, and they're not supposed to do it to your cities. Why? And again, the Russians were saying, well, you used the American provided missiles and systems and all that. Yeah, so didn't you know they have them? So what now? What changed now? Now they have the drones, so you can't say that anymore. And the Americans said, and the Brits with their stormy water, stormy shadow, storm shadow, whatever missiles, right? Oh my, these are weasels. So, I'm convinced, but I can say I'm convinced, I'm 99% certain that the Ukrainians will succeed in causing damage in St. Petersburg and Moscow with drones, big drones, small drones. That will happen. It's just a matter of time, and they will do it. And I will be here to let you know and give you my assessment of that. In the meantime, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.